What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Death of the Asia You Can't Whoop Me edition. When y'all get in here, go ahead and like the video, share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about the most recent Vlad clip that posted. I think it was yesterday when the clip posted part 24, I believe, of his interview with Boosie. It was quite interesting that Vlad decided to ask Boosie this messy question about Terrance Gangsta Williams. If you guys do not know, Terrance Gangsta Williams is Birdman's half brother. He went to prison. He had life plus 20 years. So he was out of there. You hear me? He had to go ahead and lay it down, right? So he had a whole lot of calendars to do. You hear me? So anyway, he did an interview with Vlad prior to Boosie's interview. So in Gangsta's interview with Vlad, he spoke up on how he was able to go ahead and get released from prison. So what he ended up doing was cooperating and telling them people about closing some cases for some murders and telling them people who did the crime. And just so happens the people who he said did the crime are some of the partners that he came up with, that he was running the streets with, but they're dead now. So technically he's not, in his mind, technically he don't feel like he's snitching because nobody could get convicted for that. And actually we had this deep dive conversation on our hip hop school past and present podcast that we do every Monday, right? So everybody had mixed feelings about this. I was able to look at it from both sides. There are some people who are real heavy in the streets or got that real heavy street background that they feel like it doesn't matter whether or not these people are in the dirt or not. You still cooperating with the law. So at that particular point, you a snitch, so it doesn't matter. In Terrance's mind, he's like, hey, shit, ain't nobody getting convicted for it. So what's the big deal? I understand his position as far as this goes. I understand you in there, these people telling you you got life plus 20, right? You never gonna see the light of day for real. And you could give some information. Now, my problem with that is, with giving this information, even though his partner's in the dirt and he told on dead bodies, you don't know if that would spark some other beef with people or whatever who didn't know who did what. It could spark another beef and everything like that. And I don't know how, I ain't never been locked up before. So I don't know that feeling of being in a cage and being told it's gonna be that long. And that man, he did what he felt like was necessary for him to do. The only thing that I dislike about what he did was the fact that he said that they sat around the table and they made these rules. Y'all, you made up the code. So if you make up the code, you gotta abide by that code. So that sets a real bad tone where you have other cats that's in the street, they might get jammed up or whatnot. It actually does open up that gate, and it creates a slippery slope where people might start feeling like, depending on what type of circumstance that they're in, and if their back is against the wall, according to how much time they get, then it's okay to throw somebody under the bus. I don't feel like it's okay to do that. Like, if we're thinking about it like a street cat gonna think about it, I don't think in that world something like that is okay, because you was out here committing these crimes with these folks. And then my thing was too, are you even telling the truth about that? These people dead, they can't defend themselves. The people can't really prove it for real. You just giving them some information as if you're assisting them. So I don't know when it comes to that. So he probably used them, lied on them, or anything. I don't know. It's just a whole lot. That street mentality and how these guys rock and the different laws that they have to abide by in the street. You know, if they create these rules, I feel like they gotta stand on it. That's just how I feel. Like I understand. I can get it. You know, that's the reason why I ain't never been caught up. I ain't never got myself caught up in anything like that in those street stuff, because when you do something, you just got to stand on it. You in the streets, you run the streets. Hey, that prison comes with that. So my thing is, you out here running the streets, you knowing you only got two options when you in the streets. You either got hell or jail. You hear me? So you sign up for this life. So hey, you made these rules, you made these codes, you supposed to stand on it. But just as a human, I get the man on some, man, I'm finna try and get out, and ain't nobody finna get convicted, so I'm finna cooperate. But then you got to take into consideration, as far as that street world is concerned, how you gonna actually look. So in comes Boosie in this conversation, and we all know that Boosie is very opinionated. He gonna say what it is that's on his mind. And this is where I feel like Vlad was being messy, because he does know that Boosie gonna say whatever it is that's on his mind. He's not gonna bite his tongue. He's always gonna have him a moment. It's Boosie, whenever he open his mouth, he going viral. You hear me? So here it is. Boosie on Vlad, and Vlad asks him about Gangsta Williams. Boosie instantly goes in. So Boosie basically said he done lost all respect for him. The people in Angola, they looked up to him. They looked up to Gangsta. You know, he really had a name in the street. Boosie considered him as a legend. He don't know much about his situation, but he heard his name, so he respected him for that. You know, and he said at this particular point, he has absolutely no respect for this man no more. He's Xing him out of the Legends book, and he said he really hurt by it. So Boosie goes off. He basically said, I ain't got no respect for this man at all. He a rat. Okay. I've heard stances like that. If y'all go back and watch our show, matter of fact, I'm gonna try to put the link in the comment in the descriptions or whatever. If you go back and watch our show on the Hip Hop School Past and Present podcast, it's a panel of 4. It's me and three of my brothers, right? And everybody had mixed views on it. So I've heard the situation being spoke on from someone's perspective that thinks like Lil Boosie, right? I get it. You know, I ain't trying to campaign to clear nobody's name. I could just see both sides of this when it comes to the Gangsta Williams situation. I could look at it from, okay, you on the streets, you supposed to hold it down, and then you a human. You know what I'm talking about? So I get that part of it. So now, after Boosie does this interview with Vlad, it goes viral. It takes off. Hell, that's the reason why we all talking about it now. So it goes viral. Then in comes Gangsta. If you guys do not know, Gangsta has his own podcast show now on YouTube, right? So in comes Gangsta with a response to Lil Boosie comments on Vlad TV. So Gangsta pretty much said, you know, he don't care what Boosie think or anybody else think, because he's free now. So he couldn't care less about what anybody think. He's standing on what he did. He understand that he made the rules. They sat around the table and made these rules, and he understand that he broke the rules, and he was like, you do that time. You get what I'm saying? Now, this is the interesting part about Gangsta's response that got me. And this is where I feel like it could spark some beef, and I feel like Vlad was being messy, because you got 2 of these street cats that still here. You know what I'm saying? They still very opinionated, they gonna go back and forth about it. So this is what got me about what Gangsta had said. Gangsta had said that he had hollered at his people to check up on Boosie and Angola, and they said Boosie, all right, he in protective custody. And I read between the lines a little bit of what he was saying, because basically Gangsta said Boosie was actually at another facility, and due to the hurricane, I guess it was like I don't know if it was the security was lower. I don't know if it was a maximum security facility or anything like that. I don't know. I have no idea about that. But basically, he was saying that because of Katrina, Boosie ended up at Angola. And he ended up in some protective custody. Now, I know cats that get locked up, and that's a stain too, to say that you was in. That's a dig to tell a dude that's considered himself a street guy that he is in protective custody. And then Gangsta also said that Boosie not no street cat. It's basically his niggas some street cats, but not him. But my thing is with the protective custody, I wouldn't play into that too much. The reason why I wasn't playing into that too much, because we got to keep in mind Boosie is a celebrity. So a lot of times they don't have them, in the population like that. They will put them in protective custody for whatever reason. So we not gonna even spend too much time on that. But the thing is, I just feel like it was just messy. Terrance did seem to take it lightly though. He was like, I'm glad that he did it because it gives me something to talk about. He said, my channel monetized now, so keep on talking, because that's gonna give me something more to talk about. So at this point, I think he just on the thing. He could care less what a nigga got to say. He just finna play the internet game, at this particular point. But it's just, I hate to see it, because it's gonna be, probably is gonna be some back and forth. But I don't really think that Boosie should have ever really been so invested in this man. And I don't even understand why we glorify this gang culture so much. It's ridiculous. People talking about this man, he a legend for what? What you done did other than terrorize your community? A legend for what? They be talking about, oh, this person put in work. Work to do what? Y'all ain't built shit. You get what I'm saying? Y'all niggas ain't doing nothing but going to hell or jail. You know what I'm talking about? So that street life and the credibility that people be trying to obtain from this street life is just weird to me, to be honest with you. After a while of listening to somebody gangster stories and whatever, I get bored on it, because it's the same old thing. You sold some drugs, you shot a couple of people, you did some time, you done got stabbed, you done got shot, you done robbed. It's the same cycle just over and over again, and it's just not entertaining. After a while, we done heard the same story from different people over and over again. You get what I'm saying? But Vlad definitely know how to get something started. I'm sorry, I shouldn't. Sonic ain't paying me to have their cups in my videos. That's the reason why I usually have my styrofoam, but I got my water in here. But I ain't gonna drink no more water while I'm up here. Shoot, Sonic ain't paying me. But yeah, it's just a lot going on. It's always something with these rappers. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, because I gotta get ready for the night. These big grown men jaw jacking with each other back and forth on the internet that aren't really in a community doing anything. These grown men, you know what I'm saying, sitting up with like gospel channels, jaw jacking with each other. It's starting to get tiresome to me. It's starting to get real tiresome to me. The behavior is not what I'm used to seeing from men. You get what I'm saying? So when I be seeing all this stuff going back and forth or whatever, it depends on what it is. Sometimes it be entertaining, then sometimes it don't. When you get those sound bites or whatever from Boosie, they do be funny. One thing I can say about Boosie, he wild and he say a lot of crazy stuff, but I don't see him doing a whole bunch of like back and forth. This person say something, he respond, and that person say something again. It'd be a whole bunch of back and forth. I think what'll end up happening in this particular situation, because Gangsta seemed like he ready for that, because he just came home and he just feeling his way around trying to figure things out. So right now, being able to play around on the internet and make a couple dollars or whatever, this fun and entertaining to him, he ain't thinking nothing of it. So he got time and he ready for the back and forth, because of course that's gonna help boost his channel. And I get it, controversial things actually sell, right? So I could see there being an update to this. I don't know how far it's going to go. I really do think that Boosie is going to have a response, and I feel like the only thing is going to spark that response is that man saying he's not a street cat, because you get a guy that's a self-proclaimed street cat, and you say they ain't, they feel some type of way. And I also feel like because he mentioned that he was in protective custody, I do feel like Boosie is going to come out, say something, try and explain it. Now, even though I feel like Vlad was messy, because Vlad be messy, even though I feel like Vlad was messy, I can say this though. Because a lot of people be like, oh, Vlad, he the police. That narrative has been out there for a long time, right? If people felt like Vlad was the police and they have an interview with Vlad, just because somebody asks you a question doesn't mean that you have to answer the question. And it doesn't mean even if you answer the question that you got to answer it in a certain type of way. Boosie didn't really have to turn up like that. So in one sense, yeah, I could say Vlad was being messy, but also I got to give Boosie a little piece too. Even though he kept it real, he spoke his mind. But just considering that you're on Vlad TV, this is going to be seen, and you know how this going to look, and you know what type of reaction you going to get. I kind of feel like, I'm going to tell y'all this. Boosie knew he didn't have to turn up like that. And he did. I do feel like, in a sense, Boosie used this as an opportunity to get that shit off his chest and to send a message. I really do. Because he didn't have to do all of that. So it would have been real weird for Boosie out of nowhere to just start speaking on Gangsta. But now, since he was asked a question, it'll be looked at, I didn't just come out speaking on you. I wasn't thinking about you until I was asked this question about you. And I just answered a question. See, a lot of people get off and they be able to, slide under the radar with them right there. Oh, I was asked a question. I'm just answering a question. But you was too passionate about your answer for me to not believe that you really wanted this moment. You really wanted to have some type of moment where you're able to point at this man and tell him about himself. I done lost respect for him. He ain't he ain't in the legend book no more and all of this. Yeah, it's it sounds like his personal feelings involved. Oh, I said I wasn't gonna let Sonic Cup get in my video no more. Hold on, let me give me a sip of water. Big gonna have to pay me. Mouth had got dry though. Sonic, I've been drinking out y'all cup on my video. Send me some. Run me up. Cash me outside, bitch. But anyway, I feel like it's a lot with that. And I know Boosie is going to respond. I hope this don't drag out. It don't need to play out too long because eventually it's just gonna get boring. People gonna get tired. We ain't gonna want to hear about it, talk about it, or nothing like that because it's not gonna be interesting anymore. But people need to quit going on these shows and feeling like they have to tell everything just because they were asked. And also you have to pay attention to who's asking you, why they're asking you, and what your answer is going to do once it get out there and it goes viral. So all of those things have to be taken into consideration. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all for taking a little bit of y'all time out tonight for joining me for another episode of the Deaths of the Asia You Can't Whoop Me edition. Be sure to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Before I get out of here, let me read one of these comments. John Wesby say, so he's saying Boosie ain't do no hard time. Nah, that ain't what he said. He wasn't saying that Boosie ain't do no when you say hard time, or you talking about like his conditions actually being hard in there. I think he was Gangsta not slick. I'm gonna tell you something. Gangsta is not slick. He said that Gangsta know what he doing. When I sit and look at Gangsta and I watch him, I'm gonna tell you something. That nigga mindset really ain't changed. His mindset ain't changed. The nigga just scared to go back to jail. You hear me? So when I listen to him talking and I listen to his disposition and the timing and the way he say something, cause I done been around street cats before, but the timing and the way he say something or whatever, and when certain people talk about the streets and how he get the smiling and everything, he love that shit. He just done got a spanking for what he did, and he ain't finna go back. But he love that shit. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. And when he had mentioned that whole, my partners in Angola, they was checking on you, but they say you in a PC. He really, the way that he was actually shading Boosie throughout his response, that's a real slick ass nigga, and he know how to maneuver through circumstances. Like I could tell, like this, listening to him, he know how to maneuver. He know how to put things in a certain type of way where you really, when you listen to it, it sounds like it's an intelligent, articulate, just a grown man response. But he know he being messy too. And some of the things that he said, you know what I'm saying? But he just know how to maneuver. And that's probably the reason why, he was able to do certain things in the streets and then get the name that he have because of how he's able to maneuver and he's able to pivot. When you listen to what he said, he did shade him. He did shade Boosie. But yet, again, I cannot get mad at Gangsta for shading Boosie, because here it is. Gangsta went on the interview, did his interview. He ain't sitting up here talking about this man and what he got going on. Even if he was asked, he probably would have answered the question a certain type of way if he was asked anything about Boosie. Boosie went on Vlad talking about Gangsta and let his nuts hang. So I ain't gonna give Gangsta too much for being shady, but let's be very clear. he was shady and he was intentional about what he put out there. He definitely his video about 10-15 minutes long. He definitely used his 10 or 15 minutes to get the business clear and to put something out there, to drop a seed and for somebody to pick it up and run with it. You know what I'm saying? He definitely did that. So he planted that seed where people could start questioning Lil Boosie, since Lil Boosie want to question him. You know, he played that right. He definitely played that right. So I see what he did there. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. Been on here longer than what I thought. Anyway, go ahead and like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you subscribe to our podcast, the Hip Hop School Past and Present Podcast. It airs every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's with me, Heezy, Supreme Ra, and Brother Truth. Yesterday we actually had Flo Malcolm and a Skia Teray, who is their Soulja Boy artists or whatever. We actually had them on the show yesterday, and they were talking about the situation with Charleston White. And y'all need to go watch that video. I'm gonna actually put the link in the description, because Flo Malcolm changed his tone in the video. The man said he understand Charleston White message. He respect the man, and he said he love him. You know what I'm saying? He was like, we love Charleston. So y'all gotta go listen to that interview. So we had them on there yesterday, and then Monday we had Charleston White on there. So Monday Charleston White came on, gave his side of what had happened down at Rolling Loud in Miami when he allegedly maced Soulja Boy. And then the people who jumped out and started making videos about Charleston White, Soulja Boy artist Flo Malcolm, ended up coming on the show yesterday. So it's something to definitely check out if you're into all things hip hop, because we talk about so many different things from the past and present, hence the name Hip Hop School Past and Present Podcast. But thank y'all so much for tuning in with me tonight. I'm about to tune out. Y'all have a good one.
I hope you black men were paying attention. I hope you black men were paying attention.